There are always firsts for new officers, auxiliary captains. I've preached my first funeral, had my first several weddings, and we have dedicated a baby or two in the time that we've had the joy of serving here. And I didn't assume that it was going to be my privilege to dedicate Tobias Gilliam, but I'm glad to have received that invitation. Mark and Becky, I don't have to tell you what a precious gift this little one is, and how marvelously God has blessed our family, and he appears to be behaving himself very well. And I would expect nothing less from the grandson of our Fultz. I want you to know that Mark, your parents, and Becky, your mother, and I are pleased that this day finds you in the house of the Lord, and that you are bringing your child up in the admonition of the Lord, and that you recognize what a precious gift he is, and it is your desire that he be nurtured in God's family. In the dedication of this child, Mr. and Mrs. Gilliam, you desire to give him fully to God. You want him to love God and always to do his will. You want him to love God and to serve him. You're willing that he shall spend all his life for God and go wherever he may need him. You must not keep him back from hardship, suffering, poverty, or sacrifice in the service of Jesus Christ and of his salvation. As far as you can, you must keep him from all intoxicating drink, tobacco, harmful reading, and every other influence which may injure him in mind or body. You must be to him an example of a true salvationist. You must teach him and train him to be a faithful soldier so that he can give all the time, strength, ability, and money possible to help in the salvation war. If you are willing to make these promises, I will receive the child in the name of God and of the Salvation Army. How you doing today, bud? You remember me, don't you? You may have not seen me in a uniform before. Papa loves you. You're a good boy. And I'm proud of your mom and daddy, too. Do you know what's going on here today? I didn't think so. You will someday. And you'll know, and we'll talk about this day. And you and I will have a long talk. And we'll talk about November 30th, when your mom and daddy came and gave you back to God. And they made promises. And I know that they'll keep them. And this won't take too much longer, I promise you. In the name of the Lord, of the Owensboro Corps of the Salvation Army, I have taken this child who has been fully given by his parents for the salvation of the world. God save, bless, and keep this child. Mark and Becky, I charge you, Toby's parents, before God and this Corps of the Salvation Army, that you keep the promises that you have this day made. Now, first of all, I'd like to call upon Toby's family, if they will pledge this day to support this child, to nurture him, and be a Christian witness to him. If you would join me and you would stand just now. Toby's family. And now, you, friends and soldiers of the Salvation Army, if you will support, pray for, and be a Christian witness to Toby, I invite you to stand as well. The only people, they're going to pray for you, and they're going to be a Christian witness. And now, if you can truly say amen to these statements, now would be the time. God bless the parents of Toby Gilliam. Amen. God bless this child. Amen. And God bless the Salvation Army. Amen. I'm going to call upon Toby's other grandpa, find salvation, Mr. John Gilliam, to come now and pray this prayer of dedication for Toby.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this precious gift. Tobias out and Gilliam. We believe your word that children are a gift of the Lord. And that children's children are crowned to the ages. Lord, the responsibility for raising Tobias is no less than you gave to Mary Joseph to raise your son. And although he will remember this day, except perhaps in a video or a picture, the parents and the grandparents and all the relatives and all of the household of faith, family of God, remember this day, Lord. Sometimes promises are easy to make, much harder to see. So we pray this day that we would dedicate ourselves to live lives that would be an example in word and deed and action to Tobias. He would grow in wisdom and stature and favor with you. And in his life, you will be glorified. And in the life of everyone here who might serve you. Help us, Lord, to be your children, to be faithful, and to look for that day of hope. This might be the very day that you come back for us and help us to live so expectantly. In Jesus' name.
Thank you, Grandpa John. Mark and Becky, I'm going to return to you this precious little baby before time. And I would warn you, don't blink, because as sure as you do, he'll be 19 or 20, asking for the car keys, coming home to introduce you to a young lady that he intends to spend the rest of his life with, and he'll go off to leave and break your heart someday. But till then, I will give $5, buddy. You're really doing good. I'm going to give him back to you, mindful of the commitments you've made this day and of the commitments we have made to the nurturing and raising of this child. Now let's congratulate Mark and Becky. Now, visiting all the way from Chattanooga.